All right, welcoming Lauren Pluim here
Hey guys.
to Mustang Game Day, the student
Manager,
social media assistant,
manager? Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
Something like that.
you do a lot of things.
Do a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're here to talk about, of course, Cal Poly taking on UC Irvine. Just general impressions going into the second game here.
Okay, so last night was a hard game for us. Got a lot of hits, not a lot of runs. Pretty solid pitching game, pretty solid defensive game, but just didn't capitalize where we need to. And Irvine was a team we needed to beat, and it's going to be rough going into this coming off a loss, but we need to come back and bounce back for this game.
Yeah, Darren Nelson is starting pitcher. Mark Roberts was saying pitching is probably one of his keys. What are your predictions for Darren's game today?
So tonight, pitching efficiency is huge for us because as we've talked about with Darren like the last few times, Darren isn't a strikeout guy, and because of that, he ends up having a 3-2 count a lot, and he has guys fouling him off. And against Hawaii, really got into the fourth inning and got deep into his pitch count. Like we're talking 80 to 90 pitches in the fourth inning. So he really needs to capitalize and get guys to swing early and get those get the ball in play early to get those outs at lower counts, like 0-1, 1-0.
Yeah, we've got a few guys on the screen that you can talk about here. Ogren, McKenna, Beasley, Marincons. Take your pick here, Lauren.
All right, so let's talk about Ogren Marincons. So actually tonight we have a little bit of a lineup change. Marincons got hit in the foot last night with a foul ball, so he will be playing DH today. But generally in the middle infield defensive positions, those are two really strong players. But more on the offensive side, since Marincons is DH tonight, both Ogren and Marincons are low in the batting average of our starting players. They're at the bottom, like two of the bottom players. They have just shy of 300. They're under like 295 or something like that. And both of them have almost the most RBIs on the team. So they are the type of players that come in with guys on base and get hits. And that's what we need tonight. So that's what we're looking for from them today.
Yeah, and one of those guys that's going to be getting on base is going to be Alex McKenna, of course,
Absolutely.
top of the batting order for the Mustangs. He's getting on base about pretty much half the time that he's at bat, so just keys for him coming into this game.
Alex just needs to keep doing what he's doing in the outfield and at the plate, because as we saw last night, the guy has an arm. I wish we had a video of it because he literally just gunned down a guy at home from some pretty deep center field, and he's crucial for us in center field. The routes he takes are always, he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's trying to do with the ball, and the other outfielders need to follow his lead in that situation. At the plate though, I think we just forget about Alex McKenna because you're like, he just does what he does. Like that's what he just goes up there and you don't have to worry about it because he's gonna get the job done.
Mm-hmm. Defensive decision making, you alluded to Alex makes some great plays out there in the outfield. How do you think the rest of the team kind of matches up? Do you think they can meet the challenge of
so the issues we're seeing a little bit are coming in left and right field with making the wrong route decision, I think is what's going on. They're not falling for errors, they're not dropping the ball, but they're not getting to the balls that they should be getting to. We're lucky in right field because Bradley, he's like such a good arm. If he misses the ball, he can still throw the guy out at home or at third. He does it all the time. I think he's probably got like 5 guys at third or home this year, which is really impressive. But we don't want to have to rely on getting that throw. We want to catch the ball in the first place. So that's definitely, they need to follow Alex's lead when it comes to that, I think.
So yeah, just judging that ball once it comes off the bat, that's one of the biggest skills for an outfielder to really have.
Yeah.
Elsewhere on the field, on the infield, who's taking Marincons' spot?
So we're seeing a shift. So Tate Samuelson is moving to third base. Elijah Skips is moving to first base. And we have Nick DiCarlo moving to shortstop.
Okay.
So he's a freshman coming in kind of in.
He's made some great grabs.
Yeah, he's made some great grabs, really. So it's going to be a test for him for sure, just because he's kind of been in and out of the third base position. It's been between him and a couple other guys. But I think he can come in and really, stand up to the challenge.
Yeah. We've been talking, of course, about how this kind of is a must-win game. I mean, the must-win series for the Mustangs if they want to stay at the top of the Big West standings, because that middle 6 of the Big West is so close. Just your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was actually funny because I was talking to Chris Sylvester about this tonight. He was saying something about Long Beach. Like all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh yeah, they're even with us," and I'm like, "When did that happen? They were like second to last 2 days ago." But that's how close the Big West is right now. I mean, Fullerton is way ahead. That's really what it comes down to. We need them to lose all of their games, and we need to win all of our games. Really, is what it comes down to.
If only that could possibly happen.
Yeah.
So also going into this game, Dan, any more thoughts for Lauren here?
I don't know. I think we touched on a lot of
we
it.
can take a look at, maybe more in depth on some of the players that we want to look at. Anyone that you want to particularly look at their stats on the screen
I'm going to
here.
go back to Kyle Marincons. I know
Okay.
he's DHing today, and I think it's so cool about Kyle Marincons is he played his 160th straight start last night. And that is second in Cal Poly history. The current record is Jimmy Allen with 183 straight starts, but that's because Jimmy played into his senior year. Kyle started day one. First game, freshman year, he was our starter, and he hasn't missed a game since. And tonight, they were gonna, maybe have to take him out of the lineup because he's not feeling well. Nope, he's playing DH. He's still our starter. So he's at 161 now. So that's awesome. And so Kyle, it's good to just have him here. He's a leader.
Yeah.
He's still in the 2 spot. We haven't mixed up the batting order at all. So he's still coming in to do his job.
That's
right,
Cal
so-
Poly's Cal Ripken Jr. right there, pretty much.
All right, so before you head out, your final prediction here before we head on over.
Let's go. This is going to be a higher run scoring game, I think. So I'm going to say 7-3 Cal Poly.
All right, well, you heard it here. Lauren Pluim, thanks for joining us once again for another edition of Pluim's Predictions. We'll be right back with our final thoughts here as Cal Poly getting ready to take on East Irvine. You're watching Mustang Game Day. Don't go anywhere.